We've been studying about who is God. And we've been talking about Yahweh. Nobody knows for sure how to pronounce the name. The self-existing one. Who was and who is to come. The reason why you see everything that you see around you, including you. And I don't remember how I came across Psalms 27. It seems like it popped up on my Twitter feed for some reason. I read it and I thought, man, that is good. That's like steak. So I thought, well, this will be a good one to do on the second service. Psalms 27 starts off saying, the Lord, and I want you to notice those are all caps again. That means Yahweh, the self-existent one. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Whom shall I dread? When the wicked came upon me to devour my flesh, my enemies and foes stumbled and fell. Though an army encamps around me, my heart will not fear. Though a war breaks out against me, I will keep my trust. Now I want you to notice something that the Hebrews often did. They would do little triplets. 3 little thoughts paired up with 3 other things. The Lord is my light, my salvation, my stronghold. But each time it's the Lord is this. This is what Yahweh is. And I want you to see something else that's mentioned 3 times. The Lord is my light, my salvation. The Lord is the stronghold of my life. You got to make the Bible personal. We're not talking about your mom or your dad or somebody else. You're talking about me. You need to make Yahweh for you. To know his salvation, to know the stronghold of safety, to know the light. And it's only when you do that that you can say, even if an army encamps around me, I will not be afraid. Even if my enemies are hanging around, I'm not going to lose my confidence, is what that last verse, trust, means. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this I know. I want God to be with me through this world. I want that for me. I hope you want it for you. Make it personal. Here's the second thing. Verse 4 says, one thing I have asked of the Lord. It's all caps again. One thing I ask Yahweh, the God of existence who's always been. This is what I desire. You know, if we stop there and if you think about your life, that you're basically answering that question, what do you want? What is the one thing you're looking for? What is your desire? And if you think about how people answer that question, oh man, what my one desire is I want more money. My one desire is I need new stuff. If I could only get one thing out of this life, I want more stuff. I want gold bars. I want Bitcoins. And you know what the problem with modern people today is? There are so many choices in the world. You can fill your life up with everything. You're making your choice about the one thing that you want, the one thing that you desire. And I look around my house and I'm thinking, when did I buy that? Why is that sitting over there? And yet at some point, my stupid heart said, hey, you may need that. Notice how David answered this. I asked the Lord, this is what I desire, to dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze on the beauty of Yahweh, to seek him in his temple. There's that triplet again. To dwell, to gaze, to seek. You know, if you're talking to some people today and say, hey, guess what? We're going to go down to the church building and hang out all the days of our life. They're like, boring! They'd be like, I'm not going to do that. David wasn't saying he's going to do that either. Do you hear what he's saying? I want to live with God, dwelling in his house. I want to gaze, to marvel at his beauty. I want to seek him in his temple. David could not go into the temple proper. He could stand outside. But it did not stop him from having one desire. You need to know God. You need to seek him, want to be with him. I marvel at people who say, I want to live forever. I want to live forever. Well, what are you and God going to talk about forever? Have you spent any time on this side thinking about God? Have you spent any time on this side beholding the beauty of Jesus Christ? If you come to church, what you're really looking for is God, but he's not in the sheetrock. He's not in the carpet. He's not on the walls. You're looking for him in a person. Why would you seek after God? Verse 5 says, in the day of trouble, he'll hide me in the shelter. He'll conceal me under the cover of his tent. He'll set me high in the walk. There's a triplet again. He's going to do this, this, and this because I was wanting to seek after him. Verse 6 said, then my head will be held high and my enemies around me. At his tabernacle I will offer sacrifices with shouts of joy. I will sing and make music to the Lord. When you figure out it's God you're looking for and you want to live with him and be with him and know him, worship is the automatic. No one's going to have to drag you off to go worship God. I have seen his beauty. I have contemplated him. I have looked for him and found him. No one's got to beg you to come worship him. You're going to do it with songs and joy in your heart because of what God does for you. Hear, O Lord, my voice when I call. Be merciful and answer me. Now, this translation, this is a Berean Study Bible, says, my heart said. I believe the one Banks read said, God said to me, seek my face. Now, the end result doesn't matter. Because what you want to do is seek his face. Your face, O Lord, I will seek. Don't hide your face from me. Don't turn away from your servant in anger. You've been my helper. Do not leave me or forsake me, O God of my salvation. Now, Mike and I have been studying the Bible for, 3 years or something like that. Getting on there. And one of the things I've told Mike several times is we're studying the Bible because we are looking for God. We want to see the face of God. We want to prayerfully let the Word of God impact us so we see his beauty, so we see who he is as he reveals himself through his Spirit in the Word. You're not looking just for taking pages off of your account. You're looking for him. And your heart should be telling you, I want to see your face. I want to seek after you so I see you. And then you should execute on that intention, that desire. You're going to spend time in His Word. And you're going to spend time in prayer. And you're going to spend time in fellowship. Because you understand that the one thing that you ask for is, I want to know the one who exists forever. It'd be horrible if He didn't answer your prayers. It'd be horrible if He turned His face away from you. The Bible verses that mention verse 11, verse 10, though my mother and my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me. Those have always meant something to me. My dad died when I was 16, going on 17, with a heart attack. Devastating. Out of the blue. My mom died when I was 21. That's kind of young. I'm on my own. Except God. Except God. So all these verses that talk about God doing that, watching out for the orphans and the widows, I get it. Teach me your way, O Lord. Lead me on a level path because of my oppressors. Do not hand me over to the will of my foes, for false witnesses rise up against me, breathing out violence. You guys ever have any enemies? People that didn't want you to succeed? People that were trying to actively subvert you? Well, kind of human nature. That's when you want God with you. The psalmist ends in verse 13 and 14, still I am certain to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. And verse 14 ends up the psalm. Wait patiently for Yahweh. Be strong and courageous. Wait patiently for the Lord. How do you get this kind of confidence? How do you get the sense that God is with you? You have to wait, and that Hebrew word wait there means to expect, to hope. It's not just I'm waiting around, hurry up. It's a confident expectation that God is going to show up, that I'm going to receive blessing. And it also tells you who you're waiting for. Your trust should be in Him. Because you have done what the psalmist said, you've sought after Him, to seek Him, to know Him, to find Him, to dwell with Him. So what? The first so what today is the Lord your light, your salvation, your strength. You can't get it from somebody else, you can only get it from the Lord. And it needs to be so that you own it. You are responsible to make contact with the existing God, to make Him the light that guides your life, the one that saves you, gives you strength. This week, the moon was gorgeous. I still haven't figured out what they call it, but I caught it on the night heading home from work, and I caught it in the morning the next day heading to work. And I thought to myself, how dumb have I been to be worried and anxious about anything, when the God who made the moon and set it up there and then just for fun made it beautiful, made it breathtaking. And I'm worried about stuff? I'm anxious about stuff when my God is able to do that type of thing? Do I think He's going to go, oops, made a mistake, and the moon collapses into the earth? No, it's not going to happen. You got to make it personal. Second, so what? today, ask yourself, what do I really want? You may be surprised. I hope that from this psalm that you can see you need to maybe change your answer. What is your desire? You don't want to be spending eternity without anything to say to God. Spend some time with Him down here, get to know Him, grow with Him. What is the one thing that you want? Here's the third one. Does your heart say, seek His face? And do you answer back, yes, I will? Have you seen the face of Christ? Have you seen the face of God revealed through His Word? He's waiting for you to spend the time to put in the search for Him so you can see Him. And the last so what today is, how can you be strong and courageous? And the answer from Psalms 27 is wait patiently on the Lord. Know where your help is coming from. Don't give up too quick. Have that expectation. I like Psalms. I'm going to have to do more Psalms. They seem good. But when you're reading your Psalms, catch the little triplets. That's a Hebrew thing. Doop, doop, doop. Just three little thoughts. Get a hold of them up and look at them differently. See if that doesn't help your Old Testament Bible study. Okay. Most of you here today are Christians. Some of you are not. Boy, I hope if you are not, that you're going to make God your salvation. You're going to make God your life. He won't make you do it. That's a decision you have to make, that you're going to decide that when your heart says seek after Him, I'm going to seek Him. And it's only you that can answer the question, what's the one thing you want in life? I hope it's that you want to know God and live with Him and seek after Him. In our covenant age, it's with the church. In our covenant age, the temple is the church. We are the body of Christ. But when we look into the Scriptures and we look into each other's eyes, we can see the face of Christ. We got an unusual song of encouragement. It's 71. Because it's a song that comes out of the Psalms 2 about how David panted after God. He wanted to know God, to make contact with God. So we're going to use that as a song of encouragement. If you need prayers, you want to obey the gospel, why don't you come as we stand to sing.